How can I tell if my partner is manipulating me? All right, let's dig into this. First of all, it's not always easy to tell when you are being manipulated, especially by someone you care about. Manipulation can be subtle, sneaky, and often disguised as something else like love, concern, or even humor. The fact that you're asking this question tells me that something in your gut doesn't feel right, and that alone is worth paying attention to. You see, manipulation is about control, plain and simple. It's not always overt or aggressive. Sometimes it's wrapped in charm or concern, or even affection. The goal of a manipulator is to get you to do what they want, often by twisting situations or playing on your emotions. Here are some signs that might help you figure out if this is what's happening. Number one, you always feel guilty or at fault. If your partner has a way of making you feel like everything is your fault, even when it clearly isn't, that's a red flag. They might twist events or words until you start doubting your own memory or judgment. For example, you bring up something that upsets you, and somehow, by the end of the conversation, you are the one apologizing. That's not normal, it's manipulation. Number two, they use your emotions against you. This one is tricky because it can feel personal. A manipulative partner might bring up your fears, insecurities, or vulnerabilities to control you. For example, if you share that you're afraid of being alone, they might say something like, no one else would put up with you, to make you feel like you're stuck. It's designed to make you second guess your worth and your choices. Number three, they gaslight you. You see, gaslighting is when someone makes you doubt your own reality. You may hear things like, I never said that. You're imagining things. You're overreacting. If you're constantly second guessing yourself or wondering if you're too sensitive, that could be manipulation at play. It's about making you feel unsure of yourself so they can maintain control. Number four, they weaponize love or affection. You see, manipulative people often use love as a bargaining chip. They might withhold affection or attention until you fall in line or do what they want. Or they'll say things like, if you really loved me, you'll do this, as a way to guilt you into compliance. Love should never feel like a transaction or something you have to earn. Five, you feel like you're walking on eggshells. If you're consistently worried about how they'll react or adjusting your behavior to avoid setting them off, that's a major sign something is off. Healthy relationships shouldn't feel like a minefield. Manipulation often works because it keeps you in a state of unease, where you're always trying to anticipate their next move. Number six, they play the victim. Manipulators are masters at flipping the script. If you call them out on their behavior, they might turn it around and make themselves the victim. Suddenly, it's about how you hurt them or how they're struggling. It's a tactic to deflect responsibility and make you feel like you are in the wrong for even bringing it up. Seven, they use fear or ultimatums. If you don't do this, I'm leaving, or you'll regret this if you don't. Ultimatums are threats, whether direct or implied. It's about putting you in a position where you feel like you have no choice but to give in. Number eight, your needs are always last. Their needs and feelings and priorities are front and centers, and yours are brushed aside or minimized. If you try to bring up something important to you, they might dismiss it, turn it into a joke, or steer the conversation back to themselves. So, what can you do? If some of this is hitting home, the first step is to trust your instincts. You are not imagining this. Manipulation can make you feel confused, stuck, or even powerless, but awareness is key. Here are some steps to consider. Start setting boundaries. You see, manipulative people often push boundaries because they assume you won't push back. Practice saying no and holding your ground, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. Get clear on what's yours versus theirs. You are not responsible for their feelings, actions, or insecurities. Remind yourself of this often. Talk to someone you trust, whether it's a close friend, a family member, a coach, a therapist. Having someone to validate your experience can be incredibly grounding. Confront them if safe. If you feel like it's possible, try to have a direct conversation about how their behavior makes you feel. But know that manipulative people often deflect or deny. So be prepared for that. Evaluate the relationship. If they are unwilling to change or acknowledge what's happening, it might be time to ask yourself if this is a healthy situation for you. You deserve to feel respected, loved, and safe, not controlled. At the end of the day, manipulation is about them trying to fill some void or need in themselves. But it's not your job to shrink yourself or compromise your peace to make that happen. Pay attention to your gut. It rarely lies. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you in my next video.